I think this council is a really exciting opportunity to bring people together. In a lot of cases, a lot of fora we're in, they're in specific groups. So the humanitarians come together, or the private sector comes together, or the recipient groups. But there are very few fora where we can all actually come together and solve problems together. It's the only way that solutions to this funding crisis and the humanitarian crises which are ongoing will really come about, is if we get everyone in the rooms together, from the recipient groups, the private sector, the UN bodies, implementing organisation, and the donors, to really co-create and build things together. We've always kept the private sector at something of an arm's length, I think, within the humanitarian space, forgetting, I think, that most cash assistance is still delivered by the private sector already. And they've shown a real willingness to come to the table and invest in new solutions as well. Even if they aren't immediately revenue generating or profitable as well, they've shown huge appetite to come to events like this and co-create these new solutions, which is fantastic. And it really is going to be the answer going forward. So we're about to step into a session where we're going to bring all this together and define some real concrete actions. So when we all leave this room later today, we go away and we've got our priorities and strategy, and we can know how we can make this all happen. I think impact is difficult to predict, but I think one of the important aspects is going to be the non-tangible, just the excitement that this generates as well. You know, we're seeing an increasing number of humanitarian crises around the world. The number of people which need support is increasing daily, but the funding to do so is decreasing as well. So events like this bring people together, non-traditional donors, the private sector, to actually bring new ways to support people and new sources of funding as well. So we can find innovative ways to support people more efficient, quicker, more effectively as well. Also, I think some of the tangible things, we're going to come out of this with some new solutions as well. So we've heard a lot about stablecoins, and not just the great work that Algorand's been doing, and the work of Hesab Pay as well, but others bringing Stella in the room, hearing from UNHCR, their solution as well. So we're going to see some new payment rails, I think, flashed up that can really mean we can get support to countries a lot quicker, more efficiently and traceable as well. I think the really interesting thing that's come out of the sessions over the last day and a half is the recipients' lives will be impacted for the better, but they won't necessarily understand the technology behind it, which I think is an incredibly powerful thing. Every day we all interact with systems that we don't understand. I flew here, I can't fly a plane, I use my debit card as soon as I arrived here. I don't know how that works. I don't know how this bank connects to my bank in the US, but I just trust the systems that they work, and I know that I can rely on them consistently as well. And I think in the same, we've heard that recipients can be supported with these stable coins, particularly in the middle, for moving money across borders, which means that when a shock happens, an earthquake, recently happened, or a conflict, that the money can be sent into the country within days, or hopefully hours of that happening as well. And then they can link in with the financial systems that those recipients are ideally using, and hopefully they get to choose how they receive the assistance as well. So it's not just a choice between in-kind and cash, it's, how do I want to receive it? Is it mobile money? Is it a cash out agent? Is it a prepaid card? But what really has enabled that will be the stable coins, allowing the cross-border flows very quickly as well. But to the end recipient, they are blind to that. And also, they don't care. They're dealing with the shock. They're trying to keep their families together and support them. But they will receive the money to allow them to buy the goods that they need and the goods that they choose without ever knowing that it touched a stable coin. Trust is central to this. Within the private sector, failure is sometimes seen, I think, as a badge of honor. It means you took your moonshot, you tried something and it didn't work, but you went into it with good intentions as well. Within a humanitarian response, failure isn't an option as well. If you are deploying a new solution, it has to work. It's not just your job or your investors on the line, it's the lives of the people you're supporting as well. So we need to balance the innovation with the reliability and consistency of the system. Otherwise, the trust that we've built through sessions like this and the great work the Algorand Foundation has been doing will be eroded, and we'll be back to square one as well. So we've built the trust now, and I think we're moving in the right direction, but we really need to make sure that we maintain that trust and keep the trust of the people which need it the most. I think this is the benchmark that we've all been asking, and the question we've been asking, at least I've been asking in every session, is, okay, great, but why did you need a blockchain to do this as well? I think blockchain is sometimes a great way to get interest and excitement and funding for the solution, But previously we've seen solutions which didn't need a blockchain. They could have been digitized in another way. And blockchain comes with its opportunities, but its own unique risks as well. But we've really seen the use case of stablecoins for the quick, efficient, moving money across borders at a very low cost in a traceable way as well. So really over the last couple of years and then over the last couple of days with the sessions, really that's what's risen to the top as the primary use case of blockchains within a humanitarian response, is the stablecoins moving money across borders at a very low cost immediately in a way that's traceable as well. Compared to traditional ways of moving money, I've worked in many countries around the world. You would send money to that country, often several millions of dollars, and for 5 days that money would be stuck. You would have no idea where the money was. Your bank would say, well, we've sent the money. The correspondent bank somewhere in the Middle East, China, wherever it is, would say, well, we don't have the money yet. And the end bank is, they want to get the money out to the recipients, but they can't do it before they've got the funds as well. So for 5 days you're in limbo, like, where is my millions of dollars? But with stable coins, and one of its unique properties of blockchains that it immediately leaves a wallet, and then seconds later, less than seconds later, it appears in another wallet as well, ready for use. So I think that's the primary use case of stable coins which we've seen. I think the benefits of an on-chain payment are the speed of the system, the trust that it can build, that you can see the entire system as well. And we're about to view the age transparency portal, which Algorand and Hesab Pay have built. So that really increases the trust in the system as well. And just the uniqueness of the wallets as well, so that you can identify who owns a wallet and track that money as it flows around the system as well. And I think this allows some really interesting opportunities in terms of smart contracts. So for emergency response, triggering that smart contract automatically and allowing the funds to be dispersed, but also the programmability as well. So you can set things up in advance, automate them, the money will flow out, but then you can also view it as it moves around the system as well. So you can have a certain oversight into how those funds are used, which actually allows you to make sure it's having its maximum impact as well. If you're seeing funds sitting in wallets, not being used, or being used in vendors, which were unintended, does that mean we didn't give the funds to the right person or in the right way as well? So it allows us to improve the impact of our program without having to do very intrusive post-distribution monitoring surveys, which we historically do as well. So I think there's a lot of benefits of on-chain payments as well. And it'd be great if the recipients sometimes would have a choice. So they could receive funds in traditional payment systems if they wanted, but if they wanted to receive it on-chain and start building their blockchain usage through that, that'd be great. We've seen a lot of humanitarian use cases of technology which haven't really fulfilled their potential or use cases. And so there's a certain amount of fatigue in the sector as well of, okay, we see these new technologies come online all the time, but we struggle to see, okay, how can they really benefit recipients? Whereas the sessions we've heard, there are ways, and we just did the last session now, is thinking from a recipient perspective, how does this benefit me as well? So encouraging then the private sector, the donors, the foundations to really focus their solutions on ones which have maximum impact to the recipients.